have always wanted to get book merch, but it can be a little on the nose sometimes, and when I can't find exactly what I'm looking for, I make it. So today we're going to be making some subtle, low-key book merch to satisfy that bookish craving. Now you might be wondering, Paige, are we going fishing today? That looks like a tackle box. Well, you would be right, but hidden in this treasure trove is not bait. It is all embroidery floss. Ooh, it actually looks cooler than I thought it would. And for our first piece of bookish merch, we're going to be embroidering a Hunger Games hat. So we're gonna need to pick out some colors. The hat that I got is this really pretty, like, maroon color. Like I said, this is supposed to be low-key, subtle. So we're gonna keep it simple with just a bow and arrow. Let's see what we've got here. So I have a whole bunch of color options, but I don't really know what colors I need. I really have to pick the design before I feel like I can make any sort of final decision. So let's take a look. I want to keep things pretty simple since I'm just putting this on the front of a hat. Like, it can't get too complex, hence the simple bow and arrow search. Oh, like something really just basic like that is exactly what I'm looking for. Like, yes, give me nothing. That's perfect. Okay, I feel like these are pretty much what I was looking for. Super basic, at a little bit of an angle. Here we have a little bit of swirly action going on. This one's super simple. And then this one's a little bit different. The arrow goes through. Honestly, I'm kind of into this one. I keep coming back to this one. All right, we've decided. Okay, now to get the design onto the hat, we're gonna do it in a little bit of a roundabout way that I don't do so much anymore. But I'm basically gonna use like a scrap piece of paper and trace the image on the computer onto the piece of paper. It works, I swear. And I am just literally gonna put it on my computer. Please don't judge me. Et voila, a bow and arrow. Now to get the design onto the hat, I'm going to use carbon paper, I think this is called. And I'm basically going to transfer the lines of the drawing onto the hat via carbon paper. Time to hoop. Okay, the hoop is not working. It's just falling off. But I did manage to trace on the drawing. So let's see if we can see it. Oh God. Okay, you can see it a little bit. It's hard to pick up on camera, but like, you can kind of see it. Okay, I'm gonna go over it again. I need another tool. So the reason that carbon paper works really well for things like embroidery is that it's like water soluble. So the like charcoal imprint that's left is just gonna wash off when you're done with the project. I also have a water soluble pen. So I'm just gonna go around the drawing with the pen to make it visible. I think that's gonna work. That's pretty good. Time to pick the colors. The color palette has been decided. So I'm keeping it pretty neutral because it is a bow and arrow, but giving it a little bit of a pop of color with that kind of, it's kind of a mustardy yellow. It looks more brown in the camera, but I think that all of these colors are gonna look really, really pretty with the maroon of the hat. I've just about done it. Oh my gosh! The last thing I'm gonna do is add a black border, but you'll have to wait till the end for the full final reveal, which means we can move on to our next craft, which is one of the ones I am most excited for. One of the specific kinds of book merch that I see a lot but can never fully convince myself to buy are mugs. So our next bookish merch is going to be an Atlas 6 inspired mug. And literally today, I got the Atlas Complex, the new final installment in the Atlas 6 series by Olive Blake. And this is one of my most anticipated reads of this year. So I was like, it's time for a mug. It's time to mug. So the plan is to make something that's kind of inspired by the three covers. I really love how they're kind of mathematical, astrological. They have Swords. So I want something reminiscent of them on a mug that won't scream Atlas 6. Like if you don't know the series and you're looking at it, you'd be like, oh, that's a cool mug. But if you do know the series, you'd be like, oh my God, is that an Atlas 6 mug? No way, that's sick. That's 6. Ooh! So I want to design something that can wrap around the mug, and I got a Cricut for Christmas and I haven't used it yet. So we're gonna try to cut the design out of vinyl. I have already started on the design because I have no idea how Cricut Design Space works, but let me give you a little walk around of the design that I have so far. I'm using Canva. I do have Canva Pro. So I've kind of just been throwing things that already exist together. So in the center of the big part of the circle, I have an eye and a sword, and then the moon phases around it. And this is kind of reminiscent of the first book cover and the newest book cover, I believe. And then around the mug are 6 zodiac signs, and those are the zodiac signs of all 6 of the main characters. And I did like rotate them around. So if you're like, that's not what it's supposed to look like, I don't know any different, so it doesn't bother me. I started working on this early because I didn't know what it would be like when I uploaded it to Cricut. So this most recent upload is pretty close, but some of the lines are a little bit too fine. Like you can see right away that some of the detail was lost here. Okay, I'm gonna scooch over to the place where I design best. Okay, I spent a few hours tweaking the design and I was gonna try printing it out tomorrow, but I literally cannot wait. But it is a learning experience. I've never made anything before on a Cricut. This is the Cricut Joy Extra. This is the Cricut Joy Extra. It cuts everything the Cricut Joy can cut, but just a little bit bigger. I got this gold vinyl. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut it. Ooh. Holy crap. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Let me move this out of the way for a second. I know this is not really the smartest way of doing things, but I'm not really thinking a whole lot right now. There we go. I am such a rule follower that I'm literally like, if I do too much vinyl, is the Cricut gonna get mad at me? No, it's an inanimate object. Oh my God. It's time! I can pull the Cricut back out. And then I'm gonna click make, confirm, load. Click go. That's the last thing. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm already rethinking everything. Okay, I gotta let this do its thing. Hello again. So the printout, or the cutting, I guess, didn't go perfectly, and we're gonna try again. I'm really hopeful that this one will work, but I think some of the lines might be a little too thin still. But I'm crossing my fingers because if this doesn't work, then I think I'll have to make like some major changes to the design. Okay, go time part 2. Okay, just finished, and it's actually looking really good. Ah! I think I'm gonna try to put it on the mug. It's time for the big peel. Wow, that looks pretty sick. I kind of had a feeling when I was starting to design this that printing it out in rounds might be good. So I'm not surprised that there are a few things that I want to kind of recut. But overall, I am super happy with this. It looks so good. All right, I came over to the window so that I could show you the final print in all its shining glory. Dun-dun! Check that out. Honestly, it turned out better than I thought it would, and doing the second print separately of the things that didn't turn out so well, like this one circle around the DNA and also the moon phases, and that worked really well. But yeah, I think if I were to do it again, I would probably do it in a bunch of different layers instead of trying to do one more complicated cut. All right, the last thing I have to do is just transfer it onto the mug. So to see that, once again, you'll have to wait till the end. On to our final bookish merch. The final bookish merch we're going to be making, I'm so excited for, because it's, get this, fourth wing themed. That is right. And if you saw my previous video about romantasy, which I know you didn't because nobody did, and that is perfectly fine with me, but if you did, then you would know that Fourth Wing was not really my favorite read. It's not for me, but I have two very, very sweet friends who absolutely loved it. So I'm going to be making this for them so that this Fourth Wing themed merch can go to a loving home. Okay, so in my opinion, the best part of the books are definitely the dragons. So I'm gonna make Taryn and Andarna stackable dragon plushies. Honestly, I kind of feel like I'm going back to my roots, which is a little bit crazy because I literally started crocheting like a few months ago, but it feels comfy now. So we're getting comfy today, okay? Is that okay with everyone? I'm gonna be starting with Andarna, the smaller of the two dragons. So I got these two really pretty yellow yarns. This one is like a little bit golden, and then this one's kind of a classic bright yellow. But I'm gonna use the more golden color for the majority of her. And then the brighter color will kind of be to accent her wings, which we'll see in a second. In one of my earlier videos, I asked people if they preferred to pull their yarn from the center or the outside, and I got like a wild amount of responses. Like, clearly people in the crochet community had strong opinions about it, and I think that most people said they pull from the middle, but it was kind of like, do whatever you want. It's like whatever you prefer. And I gotta say, I have become a center pull girly since then, but it is so frustrating trying to find the loose piece in the middle. How do people do it? How do people do it? My strategy has kind of just been to yank out the guts of the yarn, I like to call it. I don't even know if I can. This is kind of looking unsettlingly like spaghetti, and it's like freaking me out a little bit. I like can't look at the yarn anymore. Ew, I really don't like it. It's really soft. This is like a nice yarn, but it is an unsettling, a perfect storm of just... and the guts won't even come out. We've released the guts. It's almost like giving birth. Did somebody say Guts by Olivia Rodrigo? I was gonna like show you my method, and it's just embarrassing me, so let me just sort this out. Now that we have this lovely situation going on here, we can get started. And just like that, the body is complete. Oh my God. This is so cute. Look at her. I just have to add the wings, and then Andarna will be done, and I can move on to Taryn. And I think that the bobble stitch is my new favorite stitch because that's how you make these little arms and legs. Oh my God, it's so cute. Well, I finished. Oh my God. I truly, oh my God, I can't look at her. Oh my God, I can't. She's like the perfect cute little size. Stop. Stop. And now I need to make the giant Tarn out of this thick ass yarn. This stuff is thick. So I'm gonna go do that, and then it will be time for the reveal. We did it! Woo! Okay, well, everything actually kind of turned out way better than I thought it would. After putting the vinyl print onto this mug, I was fully convinced that this was going to be my favorite thing that I made because, like, it's pretty sick. Like, it's pretty cool. I'm proud of this. And it's not perfect. I honestly don't think that this kind of vinyl material is meant to be cut out this thin. So I think this will probably be like decorative and not that usable. But overall, since it was literally my first time using the Cricut, I am truly stoked. But almost immediately after I started working on these little guys, this mug was usurped. These dragons are pretty much my new obsession. Like I said, I literally don't even really like Fourth Wing, not my book. That's okay. I would make 100,000,000 jillion of these and I could die happy. I could die happy. And they stack on top of each other. It was a little bit difficult to work with this kind of plushy yarn. Like, I struggled a bit. And I do think that I overstuffed Mr. Tairn a little bit. He's kind of stiff, but I kind of prefer overstuffing rather than understuffing. So all is well. And I cannot leave out this hat as well. I mean, it turned out pretty nice. So I'm pretty stoked. Stokerino, you know how it goes. That is all of the bookish merch for this time. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.